It's a good little crowd here. We've been doing a bunch of these now. Hello, I'm State Senator Mike Folmer. I represent the 48th District, which represents all or parts of Berks, Chester, Dauphin, Lancaster, and Lebanon counties. Let me give you a little brief update of what is not going on in Harrisburg. As you know, we're required to have a budget passed by June 30th. And for the 7th year in a row, we did not have a budget done by June 30th. Not making excuses for it. We should have a budget done. We should be working on it, and so forth. But let me just continue on. Here we are. No budget. Reform needs to come in the form, and I'm convinced more than ever that it has to come in the form of how we spend the people's money. That's where it really lies. And I'm convinced of that. I'm a bit embarrassed that we don't have a budget yet. Like I said, we should. But we're going to tell you what, if you give us a guarantee that in 2 years that we can come back to the table, we'll retroactivate our wages. We'll put a hold on our contracts until we get out of this mess. That type. I haven't heard any of that offer. I have not heard that offer made one time. And I'm convinced of this, whether it's federally or on the statewide thing. I carry my Constitution with me everywhere I go, and it's more than just a shtick by Mike Folmer, and it's well read and beat up. You think I could use a new one, but it's sort of like a good Bible. You know, you have all the good parts marked in, and you hate to get rid of it. If we'd be following this document that we took an oath to, every legislator did, I don't think we'd be in the troubles that we're in right now. I'm plain and simple. And it comes really down to that, plain and simply. When you have misspending of monies, potential fraud, potential misuses of funds up front, it's not a good thing. And because then it creates distrust amongst the people. You know, the people say, I lost faith in my legislators to legislate with honor, with dignity, with altruism. I don't think you're going to do the right thing. I don't trust you. How many people have heard? You've heard that over and over again. Every town hall meeting, I hear it. You know, I had one guy yelling and screaming at me, and I'm there talking how we got to get back to the Constitution, and he's angry at me, and as if it was my fault, you know, and so forth. I mean, I'm part of the problem right now because I'm in there. So I took it. But I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly. We'd have a Constitution done on time. We'd have a budget done on time if we would follow this. Now, I will say this, and I'm not trying to throw political stones a little bit. I can say my end, unless you guys have a question. Oh, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I know that you're...
Oh, by the way, Joan Litz, County Commissioner. I should enter. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's your meeting. But as you know, the county is really struggling.
Yes.
The state owes us like $2 million,
Sure.
and plus, it's hard to quantify because it's so many departments, and some of the United Way agencies that the county funds, their funding's cut different places. It's really tough for the county to try and balance
Sure.
the budget,
Sure.
and we're starting our process to figure out next year's budget. We don't even know if you're going to pay us for the services we rendered this year. I'm telling you, as you stated, it's very dire. And so my question to you is, have you done anything symbolic, like, do you collect your paycheck yet?
I just recently started to, after every state worker got their paycheck. I did, because I'm not independently wealthy. And I did pass 2 budgets. I was part of that, and I tried to even do the overrides and so forth. So yes, I do. Again, I don't know what else to tell you, but I do that. But I waited, I just started to, and I waited till the last person that I know that was a state employee, waited till they all went through. I did, and so forth. You know, John, the problem here is again, I understand and I'm not alone in Harrisburg. There's other senators in our caucus room. We're all saying that the counties are hurting, and so forth. And I think that's why we came up to the compromise budget that we wanted to get done, and go forward. And there's going to be tax increases in that. There's no doubt about that, and so forth. Yes.
What percent of the budget is spent on?
Can you please help me understand how, if the Constitution says that you're to have a budget by a certain time and that's not passed, how it would be constitutional to collect a paycheck?
The point is, that's a good question. And I think the question to answer that question is this: what does an individual member do that does all they're supposed to do and actually pass 2 budgets over to the House, and they don't want to do anything about it? What do you punish everybody in that ring? And then finally, in this budget process, and the reason why the caucuses have some of these reserve funds is that in case they do get in a debate with the governor over a very important issue like a budget that could affect not only this present generation, but future generations down the road, you try to stay away from that crisis scenario and so forth. But I think the real issue here isn't on whether or not that should somebody take a paycheck or not. The question is that the monies that I believe that these monies are coming from surpluses that already, that's why I think we don't look into our budget well enough. Because I do believe there are existing budgets of monies that are in the budget that was passed legally and constitutionally in the year before. So it's a very good question, and you could make it an issue per se, but what do you do to those members and those people who have tried to do the best job they can do, and then no fault of your own, it doesn't happen? What do you do?
But that's the same situation counties are in, and we're forced to go out and take out a line of credit, to borrow money, to pay because we aren't getting it from the state, and yet the state continues to collect the money. You understand?
Yes.
You're getting the sales tax, etc.
Right, we're not releasing any of the new sales taxes coming underneath past June 30th. I understand that, and Joanne, you're right. I'm not going to argue on that point. I'm with you 100%. I wish we had it done. I wish we'd have it done by June 30th. I really believed. I knew I was scared because of the deficit that we had and so forth, that this was going to be a really tough battle. But when we said that we had a budget to present and for debate on May 6th, I figured finally we're doing the right thing. We're finally going to get something, because the other 2 years I always thought we waited a little bit too long in the debate and so forth. So anyway, I just wish we had had it done. I don't know what else to tell you. You know.
I support you taking your income, your paycheck. Doing it. I support
Well, you know, I debated it hard, and then as I said to Fred, and my wife, we were looking at, we were using our savings, and I wasn't going to do it. I'll be honest with you. I really wasn't going to do it because I felt embarrassed about, but I don't know what to do. And I don't know how long this thing could last. What this thing lasts next year? Am I to be? You know, I don't know. I did find out that it takes 17 state employees. It takes 17 employees of private sector. So it takes 17 taxpayers to support one state employee. I just found that out. It takes 17 taxpayers to just got that information this afternoon. We were working on that. 17 taxpayers to support one state employee.
Get that out into the public. I'm sure it'll be.
Article 1, Section 2 states that the people says the people have let me read it directly. It says all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. For the advancement of these ends, they have at all times an inalienable and indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think proper.